In this next video, we're going to talk about the Civil AccuDraw tool and how it works with the horizontal geometry tools. The Civil AccuDraw by default in a MoDOT setup is typically down here at the bottom of your screen. I'm going to go ahead and drag it on up. There it is. I'm also going to drag out my feature definition toggle bar because I'm going to be placing some items out there. And you don't have to undock these, but I like doing that when I'm training. And I'm going to set up my feature definition to a geometry scratch level, and you can see that it's under design standards geometry scratch, and I'm going to toggle that on as well to use. Now Civil AccuDraw has a similar button as this one. This one's the apply feature definition. This one is toggle on or off Civil AccuDraw. Next to it is a settings icon for Civil AccuDraw. You can go in there and you can kind of check out the settings, set up some new modes over here to the right. And then we've got our modes. We got the delta X, delta Y. We got the XY option. We got the distance and direction. Distance and direction unlinked, and we'll talk more about unlinked in a little bit. Distance and direction, station offset. We got our delta station and offset, our direction, and our last one is the offset. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to store a line using Civil AccuDraw because I want to store it at a certain station and offset. So I'm going to start my line tool up, and I'm going to go ahead and toggle on Civil AccuDraw. Now watch what happens when I toggle on. See at the end of my cursor it just says enter start point. If I turn on Civil AccuDraw and I go maybe to the mode of, let's go to station offset, if I bring my cursor out, now I've got more information on that cursor. I got it station and offset now. Now to tell Power GEOPAK what alignment you're working with, you've just got to hit the O button for origin and then go select the alignment. Once you select alignment, you should get these temporary kind of crosshairs here showing you what your station, where you're at on station value and where you're at on offset. Now there is a little bit of a kind of a bug with this tool. Typically if you try to hit O again and try to pick some other alignment, a lot of times it doesn't let you pick a different alignment. And the only fix that I know of to get that to work is to save your work, get out of Microstation, run the cleanup tool, and then come back in, and then that option of O will then work. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to store a line. I'm going to store it at station 7 plus 50, and I'm going to do it in region 2, so I'm going to do a space R2, and I'm going to hit enter to lock that in. Now once it's locked in, you can see when I move my cursor that it's not moving off of station 7 plus 50 in region 2. Now what I want to do is I want to put an offset in there of 300, and since I'm on the left side of the alignment, it knows to automatically put that on the left side even though I'm typing in a positive 300. And so now when I move my cursor, you can see that it's completely locked in at that station offset. And so it's very important when you're using Civil AccuDraw, once you lock something in, move your cursor and make sure you see that it's locked in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start my line, and I'm just going to left click to start it, and you can see that it's starting at that location. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off Civil AccuDraw because I want to show you the rules option, or the rules feature of Civil geometry. And so I've got that first point in there on a station and offset. And I'm going to come down to my snap tools, and I'm going to do a perpendicular snap. So I'm going to make that a perpendicular snap, and I'm going to zoom in. And what you do not want to do, because there's been a lot of bugs reported, is you don't want to middle mouse click. What you want to do is just get that AccuSnap going, and you can see the AccuSnap there. It's that little gold kind of X symbol on my cursor. And once you have that, you can just left click to place the line. Okay. Now, once I'm done placing that, I'm going to hit F4 to get out of the tool. And I'm going to click on that line, and you can see when I click on that line, down here it gives you a little symbol that it's a perpendicular snap. And then up here, it knows that the station value that I typed that in at is 7 plus 50. It knows the offset is 300, and then it gives you a bearing and a length. And so what's really neat about this is if I come in here, I can click on this station value, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to actually get the station value, so I'm going to come up here, and it's not letting me grab it, so I'm going to try to grab it this time. There you go. I got it. I'm going to type in a different station, and watch what happens when I type in a different station. I'm going to type in 20 plus 00, space R2. When I type that in there, it knows, because the way I set this line up, that it needs to be, that line needs to be 300 in length, and it needs to be perpendicular to the alignment. And so that's exactly what that line did. So just be aware that there are rules set up on, or can be rules set up on elements, and the line, if you try to modify it, will try to honor those rules. So that's all there is. I'm going to show you right now with Civil AccuDraw. Later in some of the class examples that we're going to go through in future videos here, we'll have more Civil AccuDraw in them as well.